We'll talk about Dak Prescott here. Apparently, there is a number being floated out there about what it will take to re-sign Dak Prescott and to extend him. We'll hear from Ian Rappaport in regards to that. We'll also talk about another subject related to quarterback salaries. The NFL discussing the idea of a quarterback salary cap. And would that be good or bad for the game? We'll discuss that a little bit too. All right, before we do any of that, let's get informed, educated, and updated on all the top stories of the day with Patrick Davis and the Horn Headlines.
All right, your Horn Headlines brought to you by Top Gun Rentals and Lawn Equipment. In Major League Baseball, the Astros even their series with the White Sox with a 4-1 win yesterday. Hunter Brown was able to give 6 innings, only allowing 1 run, getting his 4th win of the season. Cesar Salazar had 2 RBI hits in what would be only his 2nd appearance for the Astros this season, with Dubon and McCormick adding the other run support. The Astros wrap up the series today in a day game with Spencer Arguetti taking the mound. And the Rangers salvaged a game in their series to the Mets with a 5-3 victory. Jose Urena gets the win after pitching 2 innings in relief after Leody Taveras hit a go-ahead 2-run homer. Wyatt Langford gets credit for 2 RBIs, one early on a hit by pitch with the bases loaded and a big single in the 6th to tie the game. The Rangers now get the day off before starting their weekend series with the Royals. And that is your Horn Headlines.
All right, thank you, Patrick, for the Horn Headlines. Let's get right to it. One of the headlines I wanted to discuss was the contract status of Dak Prescott. Now, we don't know exactly the number that Dak Prescott and his camp would I don't know what number would satisfy them. But we know that Trevor Lawrence just signed a deal that tied him for the average and highest average annual value of a contract for a quarterback with $55 million top with Joe Burrow. That we do know. So we know Dak is going to be at $55 million or higher. And I would say chances are it's going to be higher right now, given that he's coming off his best season ever. So here's Ian Rappaport, and he was on NFL Network there was a panel of folks, but he actually revealed that he thinks there is a number now that Dak Prescott and his people have in mind that will satisfy them in these contract negotiations. Here's Ian Rappaport.
Yeah, that is to be determined. And really, the ball is in the Dallas Cowboys court. You know, we have talked about this. We talked about it at the league meeting in March. I think that was the league meeting. Anyway, that the Cowboys have really made no moves toward an extension for Dak. That still is where it remains. Now, you can do a new deal before training camp. You can do a new deal before the season. There is still time. But, you know, all of the leaves that our good friend Jane blew with that leaf blower a couple weeks ago, they are now falling for the Cowboys. The market is showing what it is. Judy mentioned it. Is it possible Dak Prescott gets $60 million if Trevor Lawrence and Joe Burrow are getting 55 and Dak has all the leverage and a huge number next year if they franchise him, which they can't? $60 million now becomes legitimately possible, whether the Cowboys end up trying somehow, some way to do something for Dak, or whether he just simply plays it out, crushes it, goes to the free agent market. The number 60, as in 60 million, is no longer crazy. It's now pretty real.
The crazy part about it is February of this year, I remember Spot Track is who I go to for all of my contract information. They do a really good job keeping up with all the NFL deals. Spot Track, they guessed, or at least they projected in February 28th of 2024. They projected, this is one reading the article. It says Spot Track's guess for Prescott's new deal is 3 years, $180 million. That was their guess in February.
Yeah.
So they were already saying he was going to make $60 million. That was before so obviously they have their own data because they track these trends and salaries and what quarterbacks get paid and what their achievements, accolades, statistical achievements are, when they get paid and who gets paid and how much they get paid. And I'm sure they have their own algorithm, and they said in February he's gonna get $60 million. I remember when I brought that report up, and people were like, "Nah, there's no way he's gonna get that much." And now you have Ian Rappaport saying, "No, $60 million, pretty realistic." And then on top of that, you got the Trevor Lawrence deal just done, and he's making $55 million a year. And you go, "Well, yeah, Dak making $60 million a year actually makes a lot of sense now that Trevor Lawrence is making 55. Now, when Joe Burrow was making 55 and just he was at 55, it didn't make as much sense. It's like, well, I like Joe Burrow more than I like Dak Prescott. So no, Joe Burrow is better. So Dak Prescott needs to be paid less than Joe Burrow. But now that Trevor Lawrence is making Joe Burrow money, it's like, well, of course, it actually makes sense that Dak Prescott should get paid more than Trevor Lawrence because he's a better quarterback than Trevor Lawrence, has accomplished more. There you go, your $60 million. So the quarterback market, it basically kind of reminds me of the Austin real estate market. I can't explain to you why that lot is worth $3 million, but it is. So you got to pay that price. I don't know why that lot's worth that. I remember on the east side, it wasn't worth that, 5, 6, 7 years ago, but it's worth that now. And yesterday's price is not today's price. And today's price is not yesterday's price. So Jerry Jones, if you want Dak, $60 million is the number per year. That's it. That's no negotiation here. That's it. Unless Dak wants to give you a hometown discount, which it doesn't sound like they're giving hometown discounts. Not happening.
No, I mean, and that's it. It always seemed as if he was going to get close to that number, but I don't know if if they maybe try and wait it out. But this is the problem for Jerry Jones right now is you see what's happening in the quarterback market. So unless you're willing to draft a quarterback early, which he doesn't want to do, and then get a guy on a rookie wage scale, I don't know how you're going to get a starting quarterback that can win you a Super Bowl without paying Dak Prescott. I just don't know what that path is of not trading up and trying to do whatever you can to get a first-round quarterback that you're going to have to pay wage scale, whatever the rookie wage scale is, and then hopefully they do well enough that you re-sign them. I get you can say that you want to see the results in the playoffs, but it just feels like at this point when you see what the market is, there is no win for you anymore. The market is decided that you do not get to win this. There's no, at this point, the less guaranteed money, that's your win. That's where you're going to win.
Much.
60 million is what the money is. And then you go, well, I only guaranteed 120 of it. That's a win.
Yeah, no, I think you're right about that. And, ultimately now for the Cowboys, because even if Dak goes into the season and let's say he has I don't say a bad season, but just an above average season, like it's not a spectacular season, and let's say the Cowboys lose in the divisional round again, like they always do, his price is not going to go down.
Kirk Cousins,
exactly,
tore his Achilles, and got paid.
Yeah, so I'm saying the price is not going to go down. He's still going to have the value. It's basically the value of a franchise quarterback now, not necessarily the value of that specific player. Because like I said, we're starting to see now all these guys, once they got paid, they set the market when they got paid. Those quarterbacks we're talking about, right? Joe Burrow set the market when he got paid. Trevor Lawrence matched the market. I say maybe said it, but matched the market when he got paid. And I think Lamar Jackson, when he got paid, he set the market at that time. I think Jalen Hurts at the time, remember, he was the highest paid for, what was that, like a couple of weeks or something like that, whatever it was. He set the market. That's usually Deshaun Watson. And this is how Deshaun Watson, before him, remember, he's set the market. Yeah, he's the 8th highest paid quarterback at 46
and I'll say this
per year.
Trevor Lawrence set the market like Daniel Jones set the market, which is Joe Burrow set the ceiling. I'm going to set the floor. Trevor Lawrence said, man, I haven't really won much. I throw a lot of interceptions, and you can put it on there. I haven't had a lot of great seasons. This is now the floor for a starting quarterback. This is now where we're going to be the floor, because Daniel Jones did it $40 million a year a couple of years ago.
You're right.
That he was the floor.
13th. He's now 13th.
Yeah, which, by the way, is still insane because they don't even want him on the team. He's
like an NBA player. He's like an NBA player making big money, making like we don't even want to play.
We laughed that he's $40 million and 13th, but that dude, they like if the Giants had any way to get rid of him, they would, but they have to pay him the money because they guarantee. So that's what I'm saying is like Trevor Lawrence set a floor of, and I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback, but that's a floor for a starting quarterback. Do you feel could be is that borderline franchise quarterback? That's 55 now.
Yeah, you're right. Because if Jared Goff had waited till after that, Jared Goff would be.
He get more than
55 range because of Trevor Lawrence. He's like, no, I got more than Trevor Lawrence, so I got to get more than him. You're right, Trevor. That's a great point. He set the floor, and Joe Burrow set the ceiling. It's weird, and they're the same.
They're the same.
They're the same.
But no, because the ceiling was set a year ago. So the ceiling is now going.
Yeah.
Dak's about to set the ceiling.
Dak is about to reset the ceiling, but the Trevor Lawrence floor is like the floor used to be $40 million with Daniel Jones, and now the floor is $55 million.
Yeah.
How long
and by the way, Trevor
Dak's
Lawrence
at the floor now. Right now, Dak's at the floor now. He's at $40 million.
Yeah.
So Dak's now at the floor.
He's at the
He's below the floor now, I guess.
Daniel Jones level.
He is. He's in Daniel Jones level. Him and Daniel Jones are making $40 million a year.
Oh. You want to get mad? You want to get mad at Dak Prescott? This man's making Daniel Jones money.
Making Daniel Jones money, man. He feels like he's broke, man. He's being disrespected out there. But no, that's a great point about. You're right about the floor. I didn't think about that. I didn't think about it in that way. But you're right. It's exactly what it is. That's how an agent's gonna say, "Hey, man, this is the floor." That's what Dak's like. Dak's agent's like, "That's the floor, man." The worst we gonna do is Trevor Lawrence's deal. That's the worst we gonna do.
Jacksonville likes to just screw up the market, don't they?
They did it with Christian Kirk. You're right. In the wide receiver market, they did. Everyone's like, "Why Christian Kirk get that kind of money?" And then, boom! All the wide receivers started getting paid. I got 21 wide receivers.
Yeah, I'll mention every time the fans dressed up as clowns in the stands to mock this general manager, and yet somehow he is the trend maker for the NFL.
Didn't that? And isn't the same general manager that farted and then during a press conference?
Balky?
Yeah, was it him?
I can't remember if it's
I know. Himself? Was it him? I swear it was him. I swear.
I remember the clip.
You remember the clip?
I remember the clip, but I can't.
I think it was Trent Bell. I think it was him. I'll have to make sure. But anyway, but you're right. I don't know why.
Yeah, it was him. It was him.
It was him. Of course it was. But I don't know why the Jaguars keep doing it. But you're right. They do seem to shift the market when they sign some of their deals, and not in a good way for the rest of the NFL, not for the owners. They seem to overpay players.
They do.
And the rest of the owners are trying to underpay players. They're trying to reset the market to give the owners and the teams discounts on premium players and premium positions. So God bless the Jaguars.
Hey, this is the general manager right here.
Still got a couple of days going through. Coach and I haven't sat down and gone through the final board yet.
That guy.
Isn't that amazing?
That guy set the market.
That guy set the floor for the quarterback market. Excuse me. He just kept it rolling too. Hey, man, you got to let it loose. You don't want to keep that in. That could be bad for you. But anyway, but talk about the quarterbacks just really quickly, and then this will lead to our conversation about the quarterback salary cap, which is, folks, I guarantee you right now it's just hypothetical. But there are some NFL owners I think they're really serious about this quarterback salary cap thing, because they see what's happening now, and they're tired of being held hostage by these QBs. But we'll get into that in a second. I want to talk about what quarterbacks, because if Dak gets his $60 million, if he don't get it from the Cowboys, he'll get it from somebody else. So he's gonna get $60 million. And then looking at the quarterback market, don't forget Josh. I don't know what Josh Allen, they got to rework his deal. At one point, I think Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes are going to get their deals reworked. I just don't know when it's going to happen, and I don't know how unhappy they are. I'm not saying they're unhappy now at all. But you got Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes now on the outskirts of the top 10. Like Patrick Mahomes is 10th, and Josh Allen is 11th in quarterback salary.
Daniel Jones is 13th.
Yes, right. And Dak Prescott is sandwiched in between them. He's right there at 12th. Dak's about to reset it. But then at one point, Mahomes and Josh Allen are going to restructure, and they're going to reset the market too. I just don't know which one of them is going to do it and when. And honestly, it might be Josh Allen, because Josh Allen doesn't have much help. Patrick Mahomes like, man, I'm winning Super Bowls. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm winning Super Bowls. My endorsements I'm making hundreds of millions of dollars a year in endorsements. I'm good. We're going to keep winning Super Bowls. I'm fine for now. If you're Josh Allen, you ain't necessarily winning Super Bowls. They just took away all your weapons. You live in Buffalo. At times it's tough. You might be like, man, listen, I need y'all to pay me. I'm sorry. I need to be paid. I'm playing like one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league, and y'all paying me like Daniel freaking Jones, okay? That just probably comes up in every negotiation. Hey, I'm being paid like Daniel Jones, for God's sakes. Come on, man.
Just want to show you this picture of Daniel Jones and his deer in the headlights look.
Exactly. But anyway, getting back to it. God, think about, okay, let's just for a second, let's just fast forward. Let's jump in the time machine. Let's hit the flux capacitor. Let's jump in the DeLorean, and let's go back to the future, and let's look at potential deals. I say Dak Prescott's deal's been done. He's at 60. Done. It's already over. What does that mean for a Josh Allen redone deal or Mahomes. I think Josh Allen is probably more like I said. Mahomes is winning championships, so I think he's good until
I think they'd renegotiate him if they win this Super Bowl
the
and
3P.
Kelsey and Andy
Yes.
Reid retire. They give him some more money and say,
Yeah,
all right, we're now going to pay you to stick around.
Yeah, he's not going to play hardball with the Kansas City Chiefs just because it's going too well now. They're like a honeymoon phase. It's going too well. But Josh Allen, I could see like, hey man, y'all need to pay me. Y'all took all my weapons away. I can see him on set. So what does that mean for a Josh Allen in the future? What does it mean for Jordan Love's deal with the Packers? What does it mean for C.J. Stroud's deal with the Texans? I mean, C.J. Stroud, guys, if he stays on this path, this trajectory, he's already got a hell of a start. One of the best starts for a career, arguably the best rookie season in the history of the NFL for a quarterback. And they're paying Trevor Lawrence $55 million after what he's achieved and proven, all right, in his first 4 years in the league. Man, what's C.J. Stroud going to get if he stays on this pace? Like I said, what does a Jordan Love get if he builds on what he did last year? If the floor is what Patrick says now is Trevor Lawrence's $55 million, that's the floor. And Dak's going to have your ceiling at 60. I think you could get, like I said, you could get these guys going. C.J. Stroud, if he continues on this path, C.J. Stroud could get somewhere close to $65 million a year.
Yeah.
Easy.
Oh, easy.
He could be close. He could push it 70.
But that's the question now, I think, is where it's going to start going up more and more is in that guaranteed too. Where, and now for CJ, maybe not as much. So I think the older quarterbacks is going to be more in the guaranteed. So for Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen will both probably more care about the guaranteed. But CJ
Stroud's agent is David Mulligetta, who I call the Johnny Cochran of NFL agents. He's the one that got Deshaun Watson a fully guaranteed deal in the midst of civil lawsuits and allegations of sexual misconduct. He had just gone a season without playing, and he was about to be suspended. We had no idea when he was going to be available to play